Boom, baby. We are live. Welcome to Tokyo Crypto Show, episode number 67. The bull run is 100% confirmed. All aboard. Next stop, Moon Gang, baby. Let's fucking do this. Listen, guys. Sit down, shut the fuck up, get some coffee. We're about to give you some free money if you take some action. I am joined by the all-star panel. Obviously, to my, I guess it's to your right of me is Charlie from cultivatecrypto.com. And we have two new members today that are just joining us. They may join us on future episodes, but we have Litecoin Moses, who is the co-host of Moon Gang, which you can find every Sunday night on Cultivate Crypto's YouTube channel. And then we have Wasabi DCL, who is also joining us today. What is up, guys? Who's ready to make some fucking money?
100%.
Absolutely.
Let's kill it, man. Let's go.
Already are, baby.
Okay, well, the IRS is watching. I'm not making any money.
Oh, yeah.
A hot girl that I want to have sex with is watching. Yes, I'm making a lot of money.
Well, we already put the numbers up for what we did with your stack in July, so that's already out in the open.
Yeah, we're going to keep hush-hush, but we got going on here. But boy, oh boy, we have got a lot going down, man. So okay, let's pump the brakes a little bit here for a second. I am still relatively skeptical, okay, of the self-proclaimed by Charlie bull run that we're in. I am making money. Charlie, did you see what I text messaged you in your private trading chat room?
Was it just recently since we had dinner?
It was. I have a really hot girl asking me if she should buy Bitcoin.
Ha! Oh, baby, that might be a sell signal right there.
Yeah, I know. I know. She is retarded hot too, and she's 22. And she's like, should I buy Bitcoin? My mom is said this and that, and
okay. But she's not talking about the price, is she?
She is talking about the price.
Okay, so she has been. Okay, never mind then. Yep.
She works at Hooters. She is that hot.
Nice.
I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, we're getting close to a short-term top here. I would say
right.
My numbers in terms of time would be August 12th to the 18th within that window.
Right.
Seems like the most likely that we'll get a high. But right now, as long as we're above 11,000, it's all gravy. So no need to panic unless it goes under that.
I'm going to pull it up. Charlie, get your charts ready.
I already do.
Okay, so we're currently, as of this morning, 9 a.m., Eastern Standard Time, August 5th, 9:13 a.m. to be exact. We're at $11,584 per Bitcoin, according to CoinMarketCap.com.
And you know how much it was just 45 minutes ago?
We got 11.6 on Binance. What was it 45 minutes ago?
45 minutes ago is just at 11,380 or so. So it's moved up 200 some bucks within the last just 45 minutes to an hour. So America's waking up and buying Bitcoin, baby.
So here's the thing. First things first, we got to cover the most important thing. So for you guys that are watching, I need you to pay attention because it's really important to hear what I'm about to say, okay? I fucking told you so. I told you, motherfucker, since last year. I fucking told you. What global pandemic? We've been telling you this shit since Bitcoin was $3,000. Now you motherfuckers want to buy in, right?
Talk that shit.
No. Go buy a consultation from Charlie. Let him teach you how to do it. Look over here, bro. I'm wearing the shirt. No bad days over here in crypto land. We are motherfucking rolling. Moses, Wasabi. Are you guys currently what you guys are guests and obviously new members here. What do you think about the current situation? I would like to start with Moses and then we're gonna go to Wasabi, okay? Go ahead, Moses.
I mean, we've been saying this for a minute since we started Moon Gang that as long as you're buying Bitcoin under $15,000, you're still relatively early. You're getting on Bitcoin at cheap prices right now. I mean, obviously, when you guys started the Crypto Tokyo show, you guys started right at the fucking bottom, which is beautiful. 3K. That was really the fucking buy zone right there, right? but now the price has appreciated, and now you're getting a more fair price for Bitcoin, but it's still fucking early, man. Like it has only just fucking begun. Like all these fucking like plebs or noobs coming into your life asking you like, hey, what do you guys think about this Bitcoin thing? Whoa, shit, Ethereum at $1,000. You think it's cheap right now? You think it's a good price to buy? Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna the minute we go over 20 motherfucking K, 15K, dude, it's gonna start getting crazy. People, you like it's almost like people for a fact don't have Bitcoin are asking you about Bitcoin. It's like, oh shit, shit's starting to get real.
You know what I tell people when they ask me, what do you think about Bitcoin? I just tell them, yeah, I base my entire business on it. So, yeah, you might want to get some.
Yeah. Wasabi, you are not related to Charlie, but you look like him. You look like if Charlie lost 100 pounds, you look like him.
Screw you, bro. In other words, what you're saying is he looks like me last year.
He's a very hot dude. Okay, go ahead, Wasabi. What are your thoughts in general, brother? And why don't you just tell the folks, because I think it's your first time here, just a little bit about you, your background, and then what your overall perception of the current market is right now, please.
Sure.
I'll give you a full screen.
Awesome. So I have a tech background. So I've worked out in California the last 6 years, and over the last couple of years, I got really involved in cryptocurrency. So I've had the chance to see the blow off top back in 2017, grind through the bear market that we saw the last couple of years. And then now just seeing that very long accumulation period that now kind of looks like we're going into the disbelief stage of the market. So I think it's actually really encouraging that there's actually a lot of investors / like speculators that are kind of skeptical right now, because that's actually that's a very healthy signal for the long-term growth of the market, because that's usually the kind of the transition phase from going from a bear market into a full-blown bull market. So the last couple of months when we were just kind of chilling out at 9,000 was kind of what I looked at as like the reaccumulation range before the next really big leg up. So I have to agree with Litecoin Moses on if you're getting in below 15, you're going to be doing pretty well, because there's not that many people talking about Bitcoin right now. There's basically a few people leaking into the market, but it's not basically a full-blown sell signal, in my opinion. So just be cautious with that. If you're slowly accumulating now, just don't get shaken out, because with every impulse up, it's just the nature of the game. Just basically try to hold on to your positions, and I truly believe you'll be rewarded over the next few months, and then over the next year or two. And on top of that, we have a shit ton of money printing from governments. The Federal Reserve, their balance sheet is 7 times higher than 2008. So at some point, that money has to go somewhere. So I just think it's a matter of time, and really having some kind of assets that have some sort of fixed supply or controlled inflation are going to do better. And there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be very surprised, and then just very salty that they haven't made the jump into the market while they had the chance. So accumulate while you can. Don't be the person that buys in when you have this really big impulse up. Basically be the one that gets the gains, and then has a chance to really improve the quality of their life over the next couple of years.
That's awesome. Very well spoken. What line of work are you in again, brother man?
So I've worked as a mechanical engineer. My first couple of years, I was in product development in the energy storage industry, and then the last 2 years, I've been working in oil and gas.
Wow. And what are you doing with oil and gas? You're an engineer, or?
Yeah, so I work as an engineer. So the line of work that I do there, we actually upgrade turbine packages that are out in the fields. So we're not rebuilding anything from scratch. We're just taking what one of our clients has, and then just kind of retrofitting parts of their system to kind of make things to just kind of upgrade their package without them having to buy like a brand new product. So it saves a lot of money for them, and it also generates like a ton of work for the department that I have a chance to work in.
Wow, that's fucking dope, man. Good shit. Very, very, very good shit. So I'll give my take. Obviously, I'm like the least. I'm like the more just like businessman trader, and I've evolved into like a Bitcoin maximalist swing trader. Um, I I have I have a couple thoughts. First and foremost, obviously, have been for like seriously since Body Language Mastery finished in July, and all of July I was involved in Body Language Mastery, just diving heads first into helping these guys with their lives. I kind of unplugged a little bit, but at the end, Charlie gave me a buy signal at 9,500. I bought, whatever. You guys watched the last show. You know how much I bought. Anyways, I bought, some Bitcoin. Got rid of it. I had weak hands, but in a good way. It's 10.5. I was like, fuck it. I'll take it. 10.5, make my thing.
About 10.8, right?
Oh, no, you're right. 10.8. It was 10.8. Yeah. So 10.8K, I sold, got out, took my quick, it's just like $9,400, whatever. And then now I'm back in at 11.15K. And here we are. And Charlie was right again. So these things are looking good. Charlie, let's just give the people what they want. Do you have the Bitcoin chart prices ready? I want to give some price predictions and what you think is going to happen, because it's not only Bitcoin that's giving indicators correct? There's there's a multiple things that they're giving indicators at this moment.
You mean in terms of the altcoins, or just in terms of other things affecting Bitcoin?
Just coinage, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think what Wasabi said there in terms of like with the money printing and all that other stuff, which is going on in the macro economy, is affecting Bitcoin in a positive way. I mean, one thing that me and Wasabi were just talking about a little bit before the show is it looks like the S&P is still on an uptrend, at least for the short term here as well. So that's also helping Bitcoin because there is some correlation, right, between the traditional markets, at least right now. It's not always that way, but between that and Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's getting a lot of boosts for those reasons as well. And I mean, when you guys get the money from the government, where are you going to put it? Buy some crypto, right? So
I'm putting that Shinzo Abe, Prime Minister of Japan money, bought some Bitcoin with that Donald Trump money. I'm just internationally extorting all these fiat fucking banks. Fuck them all, baby.
Exactly.
That Trudeau money, baby. That Trudeau money.
We got any Canadians here? No. You guys are in Cali, right? You two?
Yeah, we're in Cali. Yeah.
We need someone to get that Trudeau bucks. Okay, Charlie, I'll give you full screen. Go ahead.
All right. So basically we have Bitcoin at 20,000 here. We take a trend line down to its last high of about 13,800 here. And then we bring that down, and we just did a very bullish weekly close right here above that trend line, just barely. But we're in this support resistance zone, which basically means, we're in here, we got support above 10,500, but we have resistance at the top here at 11,600. So that's exactly where the price is now. So Bitcoin's trying to break above that on the weekly scale at the moment. Mm-hmm. But the thing that I just mentioned very briefly on the pregame show that I do on my channel before this one is that the Bitcoin price has not closed above 11,600 on a weekly scale since basically right around here, these 2 weeks in January of 2018. So for about a month and a half, from early December 2017 to mid-January 2018, about a month and a half, that's the only time Bitcoin's weekly candle has ever closed above 11,600. So if Bitcoin in the next basically 4 days and 11 hours closes above 11,600 at that time to end this week, that is extremely bullish in my opinion. Also, in terms of the cycles, I believe we have at least one more week, like I said before, between the August 12th to the 18th, somewhere within that time frame is where we are looking for the high on the current cycle. And I'll zoom in and look at that as well. But that, close, let's say, for example, by the end of this weekend, we close above 11,600. Then that means next week we have that blow off top action. That could be a quick wick up to anywhere between 12,500 and 13,500, which would be great. And so then if we just take a look a little bit closer on the daily chart, we can just see where we are in the current cycle. And this stuff we could just kind of get rid of. But basically here, I'll just put this here. We had the last cycle high here and the last cycle low here. So very, very simply, if we just take a look at the Bob Lucas 60-day Bitcoin cycles, Bob Lucas is one of the crypto OGs, trading OGs who came up with 60-day Bitcoin cycles. They may be changing, but they still do work. So anyways, we're at currently day 38 of the cycle. All you really need to know is any high after day 30. Day 30 was here on July 28th. Any high after day 30 usually means the cycle will continue to the upside, usually until about day 45, which brings us to that August 12th mark that I mentioned earlier, all the way to potentially like a day 57, which would be August 24th. So that's why I mentioned probably between the 18th and 12th, we have that high somewhere within that period. But yeah, we have to break above this resistance in order to do so, and then try to fill some of this gap area here. Once that happens, I would say between 12,500 and 13,500, definitely take some profit on your trading account, not your complete holdings, right? You want some Bitcoin that you just hold forever and you don't trade. But for anything you are trading, look to take profits within the next week to week and a half, in this area, and then it will come back down. And I think, it probably won't get supported super heavily at the 11,600 level. I think it'll get support though down here into the end of August between about low 10,000s to, mid to high 10,000s. So we'll play within that area again, potentially. And then, to be honest, in my opinion, after September, October of this year, Bitcoin keeps going up, and by the end of next year, we will no longer have Bitcoin under $15,800. So basically, this area right here on the next support resistance zone, after we clear this 16,000, at the end of next year, that price will no longer be available. We discussed why that is a few times here previously on the show. It's basically due to the supply and demand of Bitcoin versus how much, the supply reductions in Bitcoin as well, basically cost of production. So at the end of the day, good thanks for putting that in the chat. So yeah, at the end of the day, we have the end of the summer of accumulation. I've been telling people, right, this summer, anything under $10,000, I've been saying it for over a year, buy as much Bitcoin as you can, buy as much Ethereum as you can. Some people have been doing that, right? Cody, Jacob, Tony, a lot of these guys have been doing their work, which is great.
Our man John from Bulldog Mindset. He held it strong.
Yeah, he
bought
did.
in, and then it crashed to 4K, and he just held. And he hit me up the other day. He's like, "All right, we're looking good."
Good. Yeah,
it was a long 6 months. I think that's why he got some of the gray hairs.
Right.
Yeah, well, 6 months in crypto is like,
Dude,
what do you call it? Like 6 years
like
in any other market. Yeah, exactly.
It's like dog years, right? You got to multiply it by 7.
Exactly.
Real quick, fantastic news. Once again, just got to rub it in just a little bit. We fucking told you so. And so now, Charlie, since you are the resident expert, you're the chancellor of finance in the Hot Dude Army, right? Tell me, Charlie, let's say I'm a filthy fiat pleb, okay? And I'm just a dirty, stinking normie, and I'm trying to cleanse myself of my non-crypto sins. August 5th, what do you tell to the guys that have not bought yet other than I told you so?
Take 25% of that dirty fiat money and buy 25% of what you want with Bitcoin right now today. Simply because there's a lot of people, they ask, when should I get in? If I want to get in, when do I get in? Sometimes, those people just wait for the dips and it just passes them by. They never get in because they're too scared, right? So it's always good to just get in with something, have some position. And then once you have a position, you will care to learn. Take 15 minutes a day, start learning about it. Within the next 6 months, you will know more than 99.9% of people around you. And then throughout that time, if you see any good buys or if the price gets away from you a little bit, follow some people like us, right? Like all the guys in this chat who actually know what the hell they're talking about, and learn from those types of people too. And that will help speed up your process. Also make sure that you're confident in the other buys, the other 75% of what you do want to buy with that dirty fiat money. Hopefully it's dirty fiat money given to you directly from the government. But yeah, you got to get a position at some point. So there's no better time than the present. So at least put some down for, a little bit right now.
Looking at this here, you mentioned August 12th to August 18th. I want to, because I don't think we've really talked about, we've mentioned in passing about the entire cycle high, cycle low kind of thing. Could you just give the audience a quick breakdown in regards to August 12th to August 18th? What should they be looking for? What is the cycle high, and what actions should the audience take? In theory, because this is not financial advice, even though we've been fucking smashing home runs for the last year. But go ahead.
So it really depends what their position is with Bitcoin. But like I said, anything that they're holding for a long-term position, you don't want to screw with. So you don't want to do anything with that. And what I usually tell people is, if you have a decent amount of money in Bitcoin, anything over, I would say $5,000 in Bitcoin, 80% of your stack should be in holdings where you never touch it. And then 20% is roughly what you would be trading with, if you want to compound that. If you have a little bit less, like maybe let's say $1,000 or $2,000, you could go 50-50. That's if you know what you're doing in the trading, of course. If you don't know what you're doing with the trading, follow some people who do. And, make sure that you vet them before you follow what they tell you to do. But yeah, I think between that time, right, we'll have a blow off top sometime between, or somewhere potentially between 12,500 and 13,500. If that happens, take your profit at that time with whatever you do have in that trading account, and then wait for some steam to blow off into early September, and then buy back in, lower. It doesn't have to be significantly lower, but once the price kind of settles down around that time. And that would be right with a minority position of what people are doing. If that's what you want to do, that's a great way to compound your crypto. If you're not so confident in your skills, then just sit tight and buy more on a dip. The other thing to understand is the downside. So if we don't hit the $12,000 target, if Bitcoin goes below 11,000, that's the first sell signal. So a daily close below 11,000, and this thing, will probably go back down to the low 10,000s.
Good shit. Good shit. So August 12th to 18th, you're looking at safely saying 13.5, Charlie?
That would be the max.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like the max.
Yeah, it might surprise us with a little bit higher, but to be honest, I don't expect anything higher than that. So
Moses, Wasabi, what do you guys think?
Actually, so Charlie, I just sent you a link through Discord for a pretty interesting article. Actually, so there's an app.
Use the StreamYard private chat, or are you on a phone?
Yeah, I'm on a phone right now. It's because I was surfing right now because I hadn't had a chance to set up my web camera. But
no worries.
Yeah, but basically what's going on right now is I always watch the Cash App purchases because it's an app that you can only buy Bitcoin with, and normies are starting to get on this app. It's like pretty much the easiest way for to onboard a normie to Cash App, and the fees are actually pretty low in the United States. So it's a pretty good app if you want to get your grandma or somebody like that, or hey, just put some cash on there and then they don't got to fucking worry about it, and they'll have Bitcoin. Their earnings have soared. They're up 367% in Bitcoin purchases. I mean, look, it's fucking crazy. They're smashing, dude. It's insane. And so this is sort of based off of I've been watching because it's the easiest way to on-ramp people onto Bitcoin. But just that, we just recently had Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's starting to fucking shill Cash App on his show now.
Nice. Oh, really?
Yeah, so
we were just talking about that because we're in Japan, and we were walking past SMBC, which is one of the major banks in Japan, and they had an advertisement on the wall of the outside of the bank. Which Japanese, let me just say something: worst banking system in the world is Japanese banking. Fucking archaic, dude. It is terrible. You literally. They give you have a wooden stamp with your little initials on it, and you have to stamp your fucking bank book with ink. And I'm just where is your general manager, Fred Flintstone? Are you guys fucking kidding me? Is Barney Rubble the CEO? Where is Wilma? Is Dino the mascot of this organization? However, That being said, we saw an advertisement for Square, which, Jack Dorsey, CEO of Twitter, also the owner of the payment processor Square, which is a rival to PayPal and Stripe, and he also owns Cash App. Huge advocate of Bitcoin. You type in hashtag Bitcoin on Twitter, a little icon comes up. He's a huge, huge supporter of Bitcoin. That's huge because Bitcoin, when we had Aaron Clary on the show, the thing is he was talking, because he's older, he's like 40 something. And he was saying that like, it's just so hard to buy Bitcoin. Right. It's hard. It's like, like for obviously us four, we're smart, we're handsome, we have huge dicks, we're awesome, and we really understand how to fucking make cryptocurrency purchases and all that jazz. But for the average Joe Blow, he's like, Bitcoin, can I buy one? Do I have to buy one always? They don't know anything. So Moses, you make an excellent point that without a shadow of a doubt, the easier it is to access Bitcoin, the more, because listen, I think people are just starting, I think, let's get slightly political for a second. Democrat, Republican in the United States, I think both sides are really just starting to fucking hate the government. Both sides. And they are hating the dollar system. More people know about the Federal Reserve. I think, I've been saying it for a while, I think more and more people are waking up personally because you can't control it. With the internet, it's just like internet data is, you can get information at the snap of fingers. Like right now, I'll ask you. So who saw the explosion in Beirut?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right? If this was 1945, we'd be like, reading the newspaper, like, oh my God, Beirut. Like, we wouldn't know what the deal is. But now, right here, instantaneously, we have data at the drop of a hat. Now, I want to go to you next, Moses, or excuse me, I want to go to you next, Wasabi. But I want to also mention when Moses, why I was laughing when Moses was saying that shit, because somebody put a really, really funny joke in the chat. I don't know if you guys saw. David Phillips says, yes, gold and silver are going to outperform all crypto. What? Wasabi, you want to take a stab at that, buddy?
Yeah, I just don't see that as a realistic possibility, to be honest. The market caps of precious metals are just significantly higher, so it just takes a lot more energy to push the prices up. Whereas for crypto, the market is much smaller, so you just don't need as much capital to really get those explosive gains. I do think precious metals are going to do exceptionally well, but I think crypto is going to outperform precious metals just due to the market cap of the two asset classes alone.
Yeah, look, I understand, yeah, gold, whatever. Obviously, I'm a big fan of gold. I'm covered in it. This is real. This is 24 karat and 18 karat, okay? This is no 10 karat and below color. But when have we ever seen precious metals spike? Let's give it a conservative crypto day, 15% in one day. Have we ever seen that?
We have to take a look at the charts to go back to a specific time, but yeah, it's not that.
You'd
often.
have to would you have to dig, or it's like, oh no, that's potentially possible, or no?
I think you'd have to dig a little bit.
You'd have to dig. I mean, that only happens at the fucking last day of like silver's fucking price chart. I mean, literally, it's like it spikes up for like 2 days at $48 and then crashes. Like that's the only time you get a 15% blow off top, whatever.
Right. And meanwhile, when we have shit like, I'm gonna pull up CoinMarketCap real quick. We've been seeing all sorts of stuff, dude. Have you guys? So if you just go to CoinMarketCap, guys, and you get to the front page and you just hit this 24-hour change button here, you can see Thorchain is one we were looking at. Thorchain with their runes of Thorchain is up 18%. There are endless amounts of potential coins that if you monitor, I mean, look, even Zcash is having like a nice little, so like when you see like a 7% pump in one day in crypto, you're like, what a shit coin, right? But the reality is that's a huge day in the stock world. 7% gain in one day, you're like, yo, close the portfolio, sell, right?
Yep. And to give precious metals a little bit of a love as well. I mean, you're 100% correct. Gold, is up 22%, but since the beginning of June, right? And so then when you take a look at Bitcoin from that, same period of time, basically it's somewhat similar, but Bitcoin is up 35% during that period of time. But when you compare these things over longer periods of time, right? Because at this particular moment in time, the way that the economy is going, the way people feel about money in general, right? They want to park it in something that's going to make them money or at least sustain the value. But when you look at something like those over, let's say a few years, right? Bitcoin crushes gold. Bitcoin crushes this, and Bitcoin's the slowest performing asset in crypto. So when you look at something like Thorchain, right? These things go crazy.
Here we go. He's back. He's back. 500 ounces of silver to buy a house. You get that wheelbarrow ready. And I'm just going to stroll up to the realtor and flash a QR code and just be like, beep, give me that house right now.
And be able to take it across international borders.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like strip search me, baby. I know my code by heart.
Yep. That's great. Wasabi, were you able to give your 2 cents?
Yeah, if you're talking for the gold versus crypto, right? Or
yeah.
So so if we look at where gold bottomed, I believe it was may have been around $1,200 per ounce, maybe a little bit below that, somewhere between 1,000 and 1,200. And then let's compare that to Bitcoin, which bottomed out right around, let's say, $3,100. So since the two assets have bottomed, gold has not actually hasn't even done a 2x yet, whereas Bitcoin is nearly up 4x since its bottom. So even just from that, like, you can see that the growth of Bitcoin is going to be significantly higher over the next couple of years. And I would not be surprised if the total crypto market cap at some later point in time, maybe it's a decade, actually challenges the total market cap of gold itself. I think is actually a very realistic possibility.
Yeah. Again, here he says, Adam Sims says, gold is long-term. My 6,000 pounds will be worth 30,000 pounds in 20 years. My $6,000 that I've invested beginning year are just going to be, I'm just going to sit like this for like 2 months with the gold Rolex on. And I'm going to just do the show like this.
Call it a good 10x within 2 to 3 years, basically. That's how long you have to wait. So it's not quite 20 years.
Bro,
but Adam, you gotta think about this long term. What the fuck is 30K gonna buy you in 20 years?
Yeah,
True.
a fucking
with
dollar.
All the inflation.
With inflation, I mean, we're all crypto guys here, right? So inflation is going. It's happening.
One of the best quotes that I heard recently, I won't say everything about it, but the best quote that I heard recently, right, is $1 million is the new 100K. By the end of this decade potentially. So it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you want to strive for those high, gains, those high numbers, because the way that the dollar's going at the moment, I mean, it's okay right now. It's not terrible, but you just want to be resistant, on that shit. But
so we've got that, right? We're talking about what's going on with cryptocurrency. So Moses and Wasabi, you guys are you pretty solid that this is literally the beginning of the bull run for sure?
Fucking definitely.
Okay, why do you say that?
For real.
Well, I'm gonna go to Moses. Why do you say it? Then Wasabi, want to go to you next. Just give me your. I just want your, because obviously none of us are like crypto, analysts, experts. None of us are Asian girls on, what was that channel? Was it Money Channel, the Bloomberg? What was the Asian lady that was always talking about crypto? We always made fun of her.
Yeah, she's on CNBC.
CNBC Money, right?
Oh, God, that's the worst show ever.
Go ahead.
I'm just looking at the numbers. Like Google Trends is trending up, which is good for Bitcoin, crypto, right? As long, like, what you really want is kind of like, even though it's like you want institutional money and dumb money and retail money pumping up Bitcoin, because when Bitcoin goes up, the people that are in other cryptos get some of that money. So it's like we're almost leveraging Bitcoin's price going up. So Bitcoin rises the total market cap of crypto, then that money floods into Ethereum, then that money floods into the altcoins, and then those altcoins are like a fucking seesaw. So when you get that money jumping into Ethereum, you get these other fucking cryptos launching. I mean, like, if let's just say Bitcoin doubles, Ethereum 4x's, these alts fucking 25x.
Right.
Like you get this I mean, and then you start having these long-term like gold bulls, like Robert Kiyosaki, right? This guy is like he preaches nothing but gold. right? Nothing but gold. He just said, I mean, he just recently said, I'm not buying gold anymore. I'm only buying silver and Bitcoin. So you're having some of these Bitcoin OGs or these gold OGs starting to say, I got enough gold now. I'm picking up silver and Bitcoin now. Like, dude, that's crazy. Like, and the fuckers have been stacking gold since the fucking 80s, and then now they're trying to get into Bitcoin now. It's like, dude, what the hell?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wasabi, what are your
Sure.
takes on this whole? Do you think we're at the beginning of a bull market for real, or what's the deal?
Yeah, I do. So there's just there's a lot of skepticism for one, that's a very encouraging sign because there's a lot of people that they're skeptical, and I
I'm one of
actually
them.
I kind of do have that it's slowly starting to like go away. There's almost like a little slider where it's like going to zero, but that's that. So I think that's an encouraging sign. And then on top of that, the recovery after the COVID crash for Bitcoin was absolutely phenomenal, and the crypto markets are basically starting to break long-term downtrends that we didn't see since the bear market first started, since the blow-off top in 2017. So that already is a very bullish indicator for me. And on top of that, we know that Grayscale is accumulating a fuck ton of cryptocurrency. So right now they have close to 2% of the total supply of Bitcoin, about 2% of the total supply of Ethereum. And they've recently been stacking a lot of Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash, adding that to their basket. So they are setting themselves up to really be the jocks of Wall Street, and what I think will be over the next like 2 to 3 years. So all the indicators, like everything is bullish. As far as like the narrative and all that, I try to kind of ignore like what the news thinks. I kind of have to agree with I guess like Charlie on that part where the charts really paint the picture. And so far we are seeing a very, very strong recovery for Bitcoin. So until the charts say otherwise, I don't actually have a reason to be bearish right now.
Wow.
Well, you know what the funniest thing that Barry Silbert, who runs Grayscale Bitcoin Trust and all that jazz, said recently in a news article, also on Twitter, and he said all this. He's like, I can't wait for the banks to come kiss my ass. So, he knows what he's doing.
Oh man, I fucking love it, dude. I love it. I fucking love it. Go ahead, Big Mike, with the comment there, Charlie.
Yeah, wish I'd met Charlie in March. My 9.3K entry to Bitcoin would have been 3.9. Exactly. So a little bit better, but you got to get in when you want to get in. So it's all good.
Oh man. I'm just looking at everything right now, and it just seems like it's just seriously it's validating to see this happening, but I'm happy because if Bitcoin is pushing up now, then the future it's inevitable. It's like the Borg. Like, you must assimilate. There is no ands, ifs, or buts about it. And man, oh man, it's just unreal to see this. So I want to so we have the bull run. So let me just explain to you guys a pattern that I noticed in 2017. So I've been in Bitcoin since December 2016, when one Bitcoin, excuse me, me and Charlie had Mexican. One Bitcoin was $800, yeah? There's a pattern. Listen, so all you guys, I want you to push a 1 in the chat right now to let me know you're listening, because I'm about to illustrate something and then show you something. Charlie, I want you to, if I'm wrong, please tell me I'm wrong, but I just want to illustrate something to the audience to show you how you can make money in the upcoming bull run in a very simple strategy. There's a 2-part strategy, okay? 1 is the time zones between Japan and USA, and then 2 is the fluctuation of Bitcoin dominance, okay? So I'm gonna show you something here real quick, okay? So if you take a look at this screen, we're gonna go to, I think I could just do this. All right, so you can see my screen here. So first things first, let's go to CoinMarketCap, okay? So just so you guys know, at the top of CoinMarketCap, there's a number here that says market cap, right? And it is 352 million. Oh, excuse me, 352 billion. $507,917,760. Now, the market cap here means This is all of the money that is currently involved in the cryptocurrency world. Only $350 billion. Not a lot of money. Not a lot of money at all, okay? Now, here is something called BTC dominance. This is Bitcoin dominance. This means 60.8% of this $352 billion is held in Bitcoin, okay? Everybody following in the chat so far? Put a 2 in the chat if you understand. And Charlie, did I do that right? I'm pretty sure I'm right, yeah?
Yep, you're 100% there.
Okay. Now, when the market starts moving, you're going to see there's a 3-stage thing that we have here that happens in the market, okay? So let's separate our first stage. Okay, so stage 1 is, this is new money, okay? This is fiat. We'll just use the dollar because we're all Americans on this panel, right? USA. This is the dollar, okay? And then here is, I'm going to put it higher because BTC is better, right? Well, here is BTC, okay? And then here are your alts, okay? So what happens is this. This money, typically new money, flows into the market and it usually goes to Bitcoin, right? So let's just say, for example, Bitcoin dominance is at 65%, right? What happens is when money comes in, when fiat money comes into Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin, right? The price goes up and the BTC dominance, okay? We'll just put BTC dom here, okay? So the dominance also goes up, right? And then the altcoins start their marketing. They start their shitcoin tactics, right? I'm not going to make fun of Hex, Moses, because I love you. Where the alts start. So they start their marketing, okay? So their marketing goes up, right? And what they do is some of the new money from Bitcoin and some of the seasoned money like Charlie and myself, so the Bitcoin dominance will go down to like 60%, right? And so we have 60% dominance, but this will go into certain altcoins and then make the altcoin price, okay? The price of the altcoin will also go up, right? So the price will go up. And then what happens is then the price of the altcoins will go down, and then Bitcoin dominance will go back up, and then the price will go back up. And then what will happen again is the same thing. You'll see a cycle happening in the upcoming bull market. This is literally, if you follow this cycle right here, new money entering the market based off of the market cap, right? And I know Luca's telling me I'm wrong in the chat somewhere. I know, I could feel it. I love you, Luca, buddy. The market cap here, so money comes into Bitcoin, Bitcoin price goes up, dominance goes up, and then the Bitcoin bleeds into the alts. The alts have their shit projects. Some of them tank. Money goes back into Bitcoin, and this is pretty much the entire cycle that I have noticed and made money off of. Now, Charlie, is this valid or invalid, or anybody in the panel? Just tell me what you think.
Yeah, I would say one other good way to visualize it would to kind of envision Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency market as a roller coaster. Right. So how does that cycle work? One other simple way to put it is Bitcoin is at the front. Like you said, the dominance goes up. Bitcoin usually goes on a run by itself. But eventually, once the market has enough confidence in Bitcoin, like you said, dominance goes down. The price of Bitcoin still goes up and the altcoins go up together. So if you look at it like a roller coaster, right, Bitcoin will be leading the pack, bringing it all up. And then it'll start to kind of turn over and go down. And Bitcoin will start to go down. We saw this at the end of 2017, beginning of 2018, when in January of 2018, Bitcoin was already starting its descent into a bear market, whereas the altcoins were still at the top of the bull market. So the altcoins will also kind of be a little bit lagging than from Bitcoin at that point in time. But in the middle of a bull market, right, certain altcoins will pump. Not all of them will pump. So you really have to pay attention to which ones those are. I think in 2017, that was a lot of the ICOs that were just coming out based on Ethereum. And now in 2019, 2020, a lot of that stuff is from the DeFi, decentralized finance aspect. So a lot of these coins came out within the last couple of years. They don't have any resistance on their charts in order to keep the price down. So wild speculation can happen on a lot of the decentralized finance coins, the DeFi coins. But I think there's a lot of other aspects to this. So Wasabi and Litecoin, you guys probably have your opinions on this process as well.
Sure. So what's going on right now is that an exchange called Uniswap has gotten very, very popular, and it's really easy.
Moses, you're a little low. Is everybody sleeping? I know it's early as fucking, Kelly. Just speak up.
Yeah. So right now it's a little like Uniswap. Uniswap's like basically an exchange that came out last year, and a lot of RC20 tokens that usually would never have any fucking liquidity now can get liquidity. So you end up having this thing where like coins that you wouldn't be able to trade at all actually have some trading value. So even though there's some slippage in there, you're able to like sell out a bunch of coins. So what people are doing is it's created this new ICO phase inside of Uniswap right now. And the thing is like as more people start learning about these DEXs, Kyber Network, ZeroX's API, Uniswap, they found sort of a weird way to have kind of ICOs without having an ICO inside of the DeFi space, which is why DeFi is popping so much right now, because people are like throwing Ethereum in these pools in order to trade coins. I mean, people are coming out with sock tokens and all kinds of crazy shit, And as time goes on, right, more and more money gets put into these platforms, and then the beautiful thing about these platforms is that they're no KYC. For now, I think they're going to stay no KYC, but that's kind of the whole point. So that's one of the reasons there's not that much friction. So you're going to just have a fucking VPN on and start trading from anywhere.
That's
and no
the
one
best.
can tell you shit. Yeah,
that's the best. A little bit of wild west in there.
I love it. I absolutely fucking love it. Wasabi?
Sure. So I would say we've actually probably already seen that. It's almost kind of that loop, where you see Bitcoin pop and then altcoins pop.
Yeah.
Even if so let's say we even look at where Bitcoin bottomed at $3,000. So from let's say 3,000 to 14K, it was basically a Bitcoin only run where altcoins didn't really move that much. But since that major run up for Bitcoin, we've actually then seen like a shift where some of the DeFi coins have basically started to really pop off before this most recent Bitcoin run up. So the DeFi coins popped off, and then shortly after that, Ethereum popped off. So you could almost think of it as like the profit taking from like the Uniswap coins that Litecoin was mentioning essentially got rolled into Ethereum. That then had an explosive move up, and then there was even likely some profit taking from Ethereum that rolled into Bitcoin that then pushed its price up past the 10K level. So I would say like that the shifting back and forth is going on now, and I think it's very encouraging for altcoins in general. Especially for some of the projects that have been around, especially, and some of the ones on the Uniswap DEXs can perform pretty well. My recommendation there, I guess, the portfolio allocation that Charlie mentioned, as far as keeping 80% in the long-term positions, and then you have your trading stack at 20%. Just because if you get caught on the wrong side of the pump, basically you can basically wait it out and then just wait for the market to give you a new entry. So we're going to be seeing this, I think, basically all cycle long. And I would not be surprised to even see a coin like Ethereum actually vastly outperform Bitcoin for the next few months, if not more.
Yeah, I was going to say for the majority of the bull market, percentage-wise, right? Ethereum will probably do better because it's a younger coin as well, but solid number two.
Mm-hmm.
You want to take a look at the Ethereum price as well, because I would say this, right? For the guys that did miss the Bitcoin train theoretically, would you guys on this panel be confident enough to say that the future holds some potential prices for Ethereum that are currently at Bitcoin level right now? So are we looking?
Go for it, guys.
Do you think in the future that 11K, 10K Ethereum is possible, or there's too much Ethereum, is too much? What do you say?
It's possible. Yeah.
Wasabi, why don't you go first, and then we'll go Moses after.
Sure. So for Ethereum, I'm kind of looking around the $5,000 to $10,000 range for Ethereum
really?
this cycle. Yeah, for like
this cycle.
This cycle, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like the blow-off.
So Ethereum is, just so you guys know, I just want to explain this. Ethereum is $400 right now, and you're saying that you think Ethereum will. I'm not doubting you. I just want to clarify this. Like, you believe that it will go from $400 to 5,000.
Yes. So like, even let's say we even take a look at Bitcoin from the, like, during its blow off top from the 20K cycle. So prior to that, its previous all-time high was around $1,200. So you can kind of see from peak to peak, you still basically get those explosive gains from peak to peak. So for Ethereum, since we topped out around $1,400 last cycle, I think even a 4 to 5x from the all-time high is pretty reasonable, and then maybe even like a 10,000 during a mania phase. But in terms of profit taking, like, if you're already sitting pretty in position, definitely do scale out once all the dumb money starts to flow into the market, because nobody's gonna be able to like exactly sell the top. So when you see like a $5,000 Ethereum and you still haven't taken profit yet, you're basically there's a huge opportunity cost for not scaling out of position during the bull runs. So that's kind of my strategy. I will definitely be scaling out in the $5,000 to $10,000 range. I will take my profits, and I will just I'll only look back once the new cycle starts. But right now, I'm in a long position until that $5,000 target range is actually hit.
I've got a solid entry point of Ethereum at like right under $1,000. So I'll be holding with you. Yeah, let me see. The last time I acquired Ethereum was at 96,000 yen. So that's like what, like 870, Charlie?
You said 96,000?
96,000 Japanese yen.
Yeah, is it around that? It's around $1,000.
Yeah. So just no. The 96,000 is
Well, it depends on which time you got it, but I mean, usually if you just add, or if you just take off 2 zeros, right?
Right. So as of right now, yeah. Oh yeah, the dollar's falling. So it's actually dollar. It does 910 was my entry point. So yeah, we got some hold to going on. But yeah, again, Charlie, how do you feel about doing an Ethereum chart analysis?
Yeah.
Real quick?
I got it right now. I was just pulling it up when Wasabi was talking there. Let's take a look.
Lucas says also Ethereum 2.0 is coming, and people are gonna love Ethereum savings accounts.
No, definitely. Right now, as we had this ascending triangle, basically, where Ethereum had popped back up from the bottom of the liquidity crash back in March, which happened to all markets, but it came up, started having this consolidation between here about 200 and 250 bucks. And once it popped to the upside of that, I mean, it went massive, right? So here at 250 down to the low at about 175, that's about a $75 increase. So really, we should have only been looking at a target of about $325 from this breakout. But we obviously went way beyond that. And a lot of it has to do as well with the cycle. So Ethereum basically follows the Bitcoin cycles minus like 1 to 2 days. So it moves along basically the same timing as Bitcoin. So if you're not looking at price and you're just looking at time, you can also look at it very similar to Bitcoin. So that's a positive thing, because as Ethereum goes through its whole bull market, and I agree with Wasabi, having a $5,000 to $10,000 range for Ethereum's top is very, very plausible, if not more than likely going to happen. So if you know that's going to happen, then the current prices are not that high. So, but when we're taking a look at its weekly chart here, we're looking at on Binance, so it's not its entire history, but at least its history since the top of the bull market when Ethereum was $1,400 or about $1,450 here at the top. But we recently came above a previous area, two actually previous highs that were significant for Ethereum. This one was here at about 366, right? And this previous one right here is about 286. Now that we beat those two, basically Ethereum is going to try to find support in this area. I think, if we're talking about 12,500 to 13,500 Bitcoin, dollar Bitcoin within the next 1 to 2 weeks, For Ethereum, we're probably looking between 450 and 500. Now, once it gets to that area, we have more resistance from this area right here, right? This whole price action is going to take a little bit of time for Ethereum to break through. So if we're looking on the short-term scale, I would say the current week where we started is kind of like how I see $11,000 Bitcoin. So anything below $371 and Ethereum will come back down and test this area here, the 250 to 350 area, and try to get support before continuing to move up. But in the meantime, I think we do have some upside for Ethereum just in the short term, but also long term, right? By the end of this year, I think Wasabi also had a very, very interesting take on Ethereum's price by the end of this year. I think you were mentioning $800 Ethereum by the end of this year, weren't you, Wasabi?
Yeah.
And what was your logic or idea behind that?
Sure. So, kind of my logic behind that is if we, at least back during the downtrend when the bear market first started, I'm pretty big on Elliott waves in general, as far as like kind of mapping out when to start.
Charlie, this is your cousin or something, isn't he?
I know. It's a brother from another mother, baby. Riding that Elliott wave trade, baby. I like him already.
So during the bear market, so you have basically an ABC correction. So we peaked at 1400. We had the A wave down, which took it to a price, and then there was a big bounce that took it up to roughly around $800, which became the B wave resistance, before then having the C wave down, which took it to its low around $80. The major resistance for Ethereum is going to be around that B wave around $800. So my expectation is like we'll see those. There's a chance, like a decent chance, we'll see those levels, but we'll get rejected pretty hard on the first attempts, and maybe even have like a 30 to 40% pullback. But at least for the rest of this year, even if you look at, for example, Cardano, which was one of like the leading indicators for Ethereum in a sense, where it started to pump really hard. Cardano is basically following a similar trajectory where its uptrend is basically going up towards that B wave resistance back during its bear market. So I do think there's a good chance we'll see Ethereum at least hit somewhere in the I won't be surprised to see basically anywhere from $600 to $800 for Ethereum before it has basically a harsh pullback where where the late buyers basically get shaken out of the market again. And then it's kind of the last correction phase before you go basically into the full-blown bull market.
Awesome.
Wow.
I like it. I like it. So yeah, I just put on the chart here, that area. And
I'll pull the chart back up. Hold on. There you go.
Okay. Yeah. So if you see this here, right, you get $800 like Wasabi's saying here, 30%
Can you
pullback.
zoom in on that? Can you zoom in a little bit? There you go. Perfect.
Right. You get a bit of a pullback here, 30-40% would bring you back to 565 to about 450, right? And then, kind of a launch off from there back. And then when you start looking at these numbers like this, right, start pulling this back and you really bring this thing up to, this area here by 2023, which is that 6,000 to 10,000 area. When you pull back, it doesn't look that far off, to be honest.
Wow. Fucking unbelievable, dude. End of the year 800, huh?
Yeah, $800. And it may even happen sooner because when you get these really big rallies, they have a tendency to happen over like a 2-month range. So I think basically any time between now and the end of the year is fair game as far as like when we actually may see that price level.
Right.
Yeah, and Charlie, I'm just looking at Bitcoin right now, and it just keeps going up. Like it's above 6. It's 11.6 right now.
Yep.
And,
so if it holds that on the daily close, which closes in about 9 hours and 51 minutes, if it closes there on the daily, that would be amazing, and that would bring us for the next 1 week a very positive price action.
So what we have here, what Charlie's saying is that in 9 hours from now, it's going to be 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So most of you guys will be turning in, you're getting home from the gym, whatever. If you get home tonight and you're on the East Coast and you check your phone, you check your portfolio, whatever, and it's past 8 p.m. and Bitcoin is above $11,600. Somebody type it in the chat, write it on your hand, fucking send a carrier pigeon. Remember that number, 11,600. If it is above 11,600 at 8 p.m. tonight, Eastern Standard Time, things are looking very, very, very good. The danger price is if it closes, what was it, below 11,000, right?
Yep.
So if it's below 11,000 tonight at 8 p.m., then it is it's not a good thing to be buying at this time. So that being said, that's gonna do it for us today. We just wanted to confirm the bull market. We introduced Litecoin and Wasabi. I know you guys are both in California, so you had to wake up extremely early to be here. Thank you so much. You guys are always welcome on the show. Anytime you want to come,
Thank you.
shoot Charlie a message, shoot me a message. I follow you both on Twitter now, so DMs, whatever. We are going to be back here tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for Interview with a Man. Once again, don't forget, on August 24th, Salt, the online dating course, the best online dating course you'll ever get, is coming out August 24th. Go to saltdaddy.net. You're going to learn how to maximize your Tinder, Bumble, everything. Basically, it's Pandemic Pickup 2.0. If you missed Pandemic Pickup, Salt, trust me, if you like the commercial, the quality of the course, I have literally spent $12,000 to make this course. US dollars, not yen. 12,000 USD. This is going to be my finest piece of work. saltdaddy.net. Get on the waiting list. Until then, go check out Charlie. Check out Litecoin Moses on Twitter. And check out Wasabi DSL on Twitter as well. Until then, we'll see you guys next time. Peace out.